Thank you. Oh my God, you're too kind. It's NHC Music Podcast.
Woo! Yeah, baby.
And if you're if you're here and you're not meant to be, then well, you definitely know you're listening to the wrong thing. Then if you weren't expecting us three, I'm James.
Anthony.
I'll be Colin.
Jamie's not here again. Fun police not here. Blah blah blah. He's in court. Whatever's happened. Something's happened to his foot.
Him and Dr. Fox.
And so it begins.
Celebrity beasts already.
Yeah.
Star on a high.
Is it younger? Is it paedophilia, or is it just like? Because I saw sex attacks or something. I thought he'd raped someone. I thought he'd raped someone.
See, I've just come in, so I've missed all of this.
Well, that's how the BBC worded it as sex
assault. So much for prep, guys.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, this literally only went live about half an hour ago.
Right, I've literally just come out of work. I'm sitting here with beer in hand now.
For once, we're on top of. Well, I was going to say we're on top of the beasts. Yes, we are.
Yeah. Here we are.
Snaring one pedo at a time. NHC podcast.
I know. You're welcome, folks. You're welcome. So what's the story then? What's happening?
No idea.
So we'll get the non-music chat out of the way.
Yeah.
Dr. Fox I think he was in the first series of X Factor or something like that. It was one of those shitty things. Has been arrested on some kind of charges.
I'm sure I had like a
Pop Idol maybe or something. Was it not? Something old? I think it was X Factor.
I'm pretty sure I had it was a card game when I was a kid, and it was like Dr. Fox's. No, it was kind of like it was like
Top Trumps, and it was who's the biggest beast. They should bring that back.
It kind of was like that. It was Celebrity Cox. It was kind of like, you literally had to like
first is Courtney.
Answer questions on like sort of your smash hits, knowledge. And I was always shy at it. So I don't have a fucking clue. I was always that kid in class at like 14 and 13 at the Metallica.
Bet he loved a bit of smash hits. That Fox guy. I bet he thought, this is
smash hits was his finishing move.
That was
Smash Kids.
Oh God.
Oh dear. Oh well,
that's the thing. That's literally all we can talk about, because all they've said is he's been arrested. There's at the point of talking about this, there's no other information.
Yeah, sex assaults is the charge.
Sex assaults, but again, is that just fancy talk for? It could be anything.
Sexy socks.
Sexy salt.
Oh no,
sexy salt.
That's his finishing move.
That's horrendously great.
Oh no.
Sexy salts.
So that's horrible, that whole topic.
So yeah, we'll obviously be keeping abreast of his sexy salt.
You said breast.
I said breast.
You did. Nice one.
Well played.
So yeah, okay, well that's the beast. I don't think there's no other.
It's a beast slain.
A beast has
Dave
been
Lee Travis, there's something about him, was there not?
Oh, he's been convicted now of one thing.
The reviewing, I think he gets
tune in next week for all your paedophiling news.
Well, listen, we'll start the same way every week.
It's kind of unsettling though that, like, if you listen back to your podcast, it's maybe a music podcast, but there's a lot of fucking shameful bastards in it.
The thing is, they're all music involved.
That's what I mean. It's really scary. It's really unsettling. It's only a matter of time before that door gets booted in. Anthony!
You three.
No.
You three.
I think we went to the same place.
It's an Irishman saying You three.
Because we're naming and shaming, are we going to head up the investigation, or are we just going to get jailed as part of it?
Well, if we call him A, what if we call him B? Is what she said.
That's what she said. That's the last victim.
Oh, Dr. Fox.
Yeah, it'd be a salty brew.
So yeah, that's it. I mean, he was. Yeah, he wasn't
even 70s though, was he? He was 90s.
He's not that old. I mean, he's not that older guy. So I mean, he's still probably got his best years ahead of him for paedophilia,
Oh man, if Pat Sharp ever gets arrested, that's
Pat Sharp.
If that happens, I'll cry.
He was at the Twins when they were illegal. Those Twins.
I would have been at the Twins.
I know, they were mad.
They took it right in the fun house.
Literally, by the way, in case.
Would you just sit there? You tell what?
They took it right in the fun house.
That's phenomenal.
That's what
I thought you actually said. I was like, that's brilliant. Fucking hell. Right, fucking, that's the end of tonight's show. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.
They're coming for us. That's
peaked.
Oh my god.
That's fucking stunning.
Absolutely.
Oh, amazing. So what topics have we got anyway? Because let's move on for this. Who's there? Is that somebody coming in?
Shit. You three. No.
Anthony. I was going to say hide, Anthony, but where the fuck are you going to hide?
We'll just hide behind that.
Just put my clothes on and look respectable-ish.
Well, yeah. So let's topics that spring to mind. I've got a few things written down as per, but we'll get there eventually. I'll try and spread that. I'll try and spread the boring, sensible stuff out. Get the more interesting, spur of the moment shit out of the way.
Quickly plug singles. Fluorescent Hearts have got "Find Me Again's" out. It came out on
of course, we plugged before that it was going to be out, so now we can say
officially. It's on Amazon.
They're coming back on the podcast really soon, guys.
They've just shot. I think they've just shot an actual video for it, or maybe the next single. I don't know. But I say because it was a lyric video for it. I don't know whether that was the only one, a placeholder, or whether it was the actual one. But I know they've shot a new video.
I believe there's some exclusive photography from yourself in the iTunes version.
Photography?
Yes.
What?
Pictures, if you will.
Pictures you took.
Oh, is it actually?
There's a digital booklet with.
So they've used the digital booklet, right? That was good of them. Great stuff. Brilliant.
So,
come on.
Your name's out there.
There's sluts from my photos. They love it.
Actually, there's
and I get them to be sluts in my photos.
Your pictures are doing really well at the moment.
Yeah, did you not get NHC nominations as well?
Holy fuck, that's actually a good point.
I thought I meant to say you sad and I forgot about
speaking
that.
of Fluorescent Hearts, do you know what? It's actually quite interesting that I kind of cocked up the whole thing about it's the public vote. I got it completely wrong. When they contacted me about a fortnight ago, they were actually saying my 3 photos were already now being in the judges' final.
Oh, brilliant.
So one of them was an old Fluorescent Hearts photo, which was pretty fun. I mean, that was their first ever photo shoot. They'd only been a band at that point for maybe about 2 months, so that was quite cool. They picked
the life and standby photos are great. I remember you showing me that before they were even finished. And here's amazing.
Here's the ironic thing: those 2 pictures are what I'd say are mostly recent. I mean, the Fluorescent Hearts was 3 years ago. Life and Standby was only a year ago. The one that they then finally picked from me was an old photograph of a guy in a band who hasn't been a band for 4 years. I took the picture 5 years ago, and that's the one that's now through to the final, as it were.
So that's bizarre. That's awesome, though.
So I mean, the thing is, the
NME on the pulse there.
I'm just raising the sneaky people, isn't it?
I submitted all that. I submitted hundreds of. That's what
I was only joking.
That's what I find funny is the fact
we are not going to win you anything.
Well, to be fair, obviously with your pictures, they were last minute.
Yeah,
they were good for what they were.
Joking, man.
But I
really liked them.
I actually thought. At the time when I took the picture of it's a guy called Fraggy and Fraser, his name is, he's in a band. The band were called Red Light Exit, and they were a great band, 3-piece
That's a really
band.
good name.
Very, 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 very good band. We played with them a few times, loved them. Right, did their photo shoot for them. I'd kind of forgotten about that picture, but I just threw all the kind of pictures I kind of liked over the last 5 years onto this NME thing. Cool. And ironically, it's this one of the only band I think I've got a picture of that are no longer a band is now in the final. So I had to actually, the NME editor for the photo desk email me 5 questions about the picture. So I had to say things like,
what does it taste like?
Well, yeah, I know. Here's Dr. Fox with his salty assault. Sexy salt, that's what he said.
Sexy salt.
Sexy salt.
Sexy salt.
Sexy assault. Ass salt.
It's
even worse. That's even worse.
Ass salt's been in and it's come back out.
Let's go back to praising your work.
No, but anyway, so that's the funny thing.
That is praising his work.
Yeah. I'm waiting to see what happens. The top prize for the category that I'm in, which is like the sort of amateur photographer.
Is that meet and greet with?
The corpse of.
No!
I don't even know where I was going with
the
that.
shattered dreams of Rick Astley.
The shattered ass of Astley.
Yes.
Astley. We think we're hilarious.
Anyway, so that's it. No, so I'm just waiting to find out what happens now.
What's the prize?
It's £1,000 camera is the prize.
Awesome. That's sure.
The thing is, I don't really
Cash
need it.
converters.
Exactly. I'll just fucking sell the bastard now.
No,
don't listen to this NME. I'm joking. No one's listening from NME.
I don't know. I mean, they've not got a lot of readers anymore.
I know we've already slagged them off.
Have you not seen the really cool? It's meant to be like the kind of hip new advert for Cash Generator. It's like,
that's
just
at your house.
CNG.
That's
what you use. That's right.
It's such an awful.
I actually thought I dreamt it until I seen it again yesterday. I was like, oh fuck, that's a
watched that. That's a thing. Mess. Oh.
That's a thing.
Wow.
That was made in a hungover mess. I think that advert.
Yeah. Fucking drive you to drink if nothing else.
Marmozets, Mazmozets, something like that.
Marmozets.
Speaking of Life and Standby, they supported Marmozets in that one of their last Glasgow gig.
Because their album's out this week, I think. And then
everybody that I see that's talking about it is giving it absolute praise. And I've loved it. I mean, I've loved the singles. I think they're great.
I've not heard anything from it.
Have you not?
I think you've told me to check it out. I can
completely have faith that the album will be good.
Are they all somehow related? Am I right in saying that?
Incest. It's the Partridge Family.
Citizen. Do you know they're actually trying to legalise? They're trying to legalise something that's illegal. What? Colin, that's wrong.
That's too much legalese talk.
That's too much ease.
Too much ease.
That's what happens. No, they're trying to legalise, brother and sister incest thing. They're just like, well,
I mean, if you've got a sexy sister,
I mean,
who is? What are you talking about?
The government. That's literally people are campaigning for it. They really are.
But incest, we scientifically gives fucking weird babies.
Oh no, I get that. They're basically saying now, they're like, you know what?
No one's doing this.
Really
maybe one state in America.
It's in Britain. People are trying to legalise it because there's so many people that are basically fucked up.
Marry our cousins. What? Marry our cousins? Well, they're so attractive.
I don't know the ins and outs. I just read it literally yesterday and I thought,
cousins, I could almost think.
Was that on the Daily Mash?
No, it wasn't.
Well, that's a good point. The Onion.
No, I actually checked. No, I checked, and it's a totally legitimate thing they're trying to pass because
that's the dream you had.
That's the dream. That is the dream. Oh, the dream.
That's the dream. Oh,
I had to have sex with my sister.
Yeah, that's what it. Seriously, it's by passing that into law. Like Cameron and Co are kind of going, yes, I do quite fancy my mother.
It's just terrible. It's really unsettling.
It's like giving it an inner passion.
But people don't realise, like, the reason this is illegal, right, and what people are really grasping, like people going, oh, it's against human rights, blah, blah, blah. No, it's against human rights purely because people shouldn't be allowed to breed with each other like that. Because
have you seen Deliverance?
Oh, it's what happens to the offspring. It's too close.
You got a real pretty mouth.
You sure got a pretty mouth. Your bubba's a little pet now. Squeal, pig.
Exactly. It's
like fucking webbed feet.
It's like exactly, man. It's webbed feet shit, man, and fucking really long pinkies. It's just not right. It's fucked up, man. It's Greenock, guy. It's fucked up.
It's an easy target.
Man, to be fair, Airdrie will be loving that if it goes through.
Fucking hell.
Can we squeeze any slang in here?
We can squeeze whatever you want in it.
We've already come up with sexy ass.
It's not difficult anymore. It's gaping wide by now. We've abused that too much.
Gay for what?
It's gay.
Right.
Gay for joy.
Music talk. Sorry.
Vicovi brought out a new single this week as well. They also did a Apple Store gig last night.
How did it go?
It was interesting. It was interesting because they toned down the guitars a lot, so there was a kind of cruise shipping vibe.
This was my first question because
I seen you guys. I seen Timbercam at the Apple Store.
That's right, you were there.
That was fucking legless. If I remember right, that was a good. We went after it, did we not?
I have a seat. No, I was driving. We had to take all our gear back. Oh, it was a horrible night for me.
Was I?
Oh, you were.
Oh no, it wasn't. I think it was the guys from what the Cock.
Because all the sneaky people there. I thought it was really nice. You all came down.
Yeah, we came down. But it was. We went to another band. It was another band. It was Elvis Suicide. They came down.
Ah, right. I'm
sure it was them.
Well, what I was going to say in relation to the exact point you just made about last night, Vicovi, is the one thing that we took away from, in which the Apple Store weren't too happy about, was the fact that we broke the fixtures of the lighting because it was so loud. Now I've got a feeling ever since then they've always had slightly toned down gigs because we had our full back line blaring.
It was. I always remember it was
the glass because everything it's glass in there.
Did he just got a new bass cab?
It was
his bass cab was ridiculous.
He had this full stack.
It was ridiculous. I remember
what was quite cool. I don't know if they still do it. We did it on a Thursday night, and what he did back then was every gig was a Thursday night. And see, at that point, you only had the likes of Idlewild and
it was only a few bands that played it.
Bikini's had played it not long before us. There weren't that many bands that had done it, and you get a big plaque and all that on the wall, which is cool. But what I thought was the best thing, you set up on the Wednesday night, and we got to do a sound check at like 10 o'clock, or it was near enough late on the night before. It all then gets sealed up, like a barrier goes over the front of it, and it gets left the whole day until you play on the Thursday.
I think that looked really cool because we came in before you guys launched it. It looked really cool because it was kind of like it was sealed off and it looked like something's happening. It's a buzz. It really does create something.
So that's what I thought.
They did the same again. It was like
we signed it as well, saying Timbercam at such and such time. It was really cool.
They put a big banner up and then you sign it and it gets put up in the. Strangely enough, they put them all up on the back wall in the office of the place, so it's not even like they're on display. Which is kind of.
I mean, the management needs wank material,
but it's quite cool because we're up there with all these names and that. But what I was going to say was Richie Muirhead, obviously Sama's and Champions, the hard rock thing and all the rest of it. he posted a picture and it was like watching a stripped back set of Vukovi tonight, and I looked at the picture and I thought stripped back, I was like, oh, it's acoustic, but
it was just turned down a bit.
Full band, they're all sitting down as well.
It was a wee bit kind of slower,
That's
so that's
strange.
what I mean. That's what I kind of mean by the kind of cruise ship vibe.
Very bizarre.
I don't mean that in a derogatory way, because
No, you mean
I mean
like,
the biggest thing that came out of it is like Janine's voice, and I know she's always had a good voice and everything, but it kind of gets lost a wee bit in a guitar.
you fancy her, don't you?
I think a lot of folk do.
Yeah.
Aye, I'm human.
Excellent.
Thanks fuck for that. I was just wondering.
We were freaking out. We just wanted to see.
Like, her voice kind of was the strongest element of that thing, and it can, from time to time, kind of get lost in the riffs and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool.
Not cool that it gets lost, cool that it wasn't lost.
Aye.
And they tweaked a couple of songs a wee bit and stuff.
The opposite of what I
it
meant.
Aye, the opposite of what I said. Whatever, fuck it.
The opposite of what happened. Why not?
That was a thing. That happened.
So this looks like as if I'm drinking homebrew because the fucking labels fell off. It just looks like a fucking.
Collins is holding a bottle of beer with no labels.
Yeah,
so
I've decided, fuck it.
It's not a TV show, so just to clarify for the listeners.
Oh dear.
San Miguel.
Is there any other new albums and stuff like that out?
New albums. Well, this is actually one of the points I'm going to make. We'll talk about a Scottish band later, but not right now. What I was going to say was interesting. Thom Yorke's thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, it's all this chat about revolutionary and all that. Fair enough. The fact he's doing it. I mean, let's get it out of the way.
He's an attention-seeking slut.
Personal opinions aside, his solo stuff was boring.
Lukewarm as fuck.
Right, so I've not even bothered getting this album. The ironic thing is he's using a service, BitTorrent, as a service that you pay for this one, but which is famously used for illegal downloads. So you can use the same service that he's giving away to get it for free. So I'm not even going to bother. I don't even give a shit. But he reckons, and it seems like everyone else is now reckoning, that's going to be a big. Well, they reckon it's a tester, and it means that
it's a smart way to get your stuff out there, but it's not a smart way to make money.
But the thing is, it's still an awkward service for all those. Because see, nowadays, people that are, say, 16, 15, getting their first, like, fucking 10-year-olds, 9-year-olds are getting a good phone now, but, like, if you're only used to mobile, BitTorrents are going to go way over your head. That was more of a 5-10 years ago thing.
I don't have a clue about
exactly,
it.
I was going to say, unless you're mostly at a laptop and you have been.
Totally no bother. Me, I don't bother.
It's fantastic. It's still fantastic. The most fantastic way to get any music film, because you can line up 10 albums and walk away, and it'll download them all at its convenience, and you can pause it, blah blah blah. But most folk don't still know how to use it. So,
but I think it's the same with that kind of when they did, was it Rainbows and Rainbows or something like that, was pay what you want. That kind of, it works for them because they had the money, but it didn't work. It doesn't work for them.
It doesn't work for my camp coming out and like we really need to fund another album. We need to fund a tour. It doesn't work for you.
They said that was kind of revolution at the time as well. But I even remember thinking a bit of like yawn, like really, what you just pay what you want. I mean, I know Bandcamp wasn't around. That was 2007. Bandcamp wasn't really around then, and they have that model mainly now where you can kind of go.
To be honest with you, I'm pretty sure Ash done it before them.
But that's what I'm saying. Loads of bands had done it. It's because Radiohead were such a big band.
Yeah, totally.
And it's like, oh my god, you can get it for free. Of course I did. The funny thing was, I just went, I'm going to get it for free. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I just thought, well, you're going to do it, then I might as well get it for free.
Totally.
So I don't know. I don't think this is revolutionary. It's like $3.50 as well to buy it through BitTorrent.
But I mean, it's one of those things that the music press will wank all over it because
I tell you what as well. See, like things we see with like big bands and they try to do something revolutionary. What happens is there's been fucking small bands doing it for years, just trying to get their music out because they can't get a fucking record deal because people like that are getting paid stupid amounts of money. Do you want to hear the irony in that? The thing, the actual soundbite that he said about this whole scheme is, let's see, it's an experiment to quote unquote see if the public are going to be able to catch on to this method of getting music in this way, and then it opens doors for younger and upcoming bands to submit their music this way. And I'm thinking, fuck off. SoundCloud, I was going to say SoundCloud, Bandcamp, they've been doing this for years. 10 years.
MySpace has happened.
I was going to say, he somehow thinks that he's started BitTorrent, and it's by the way, it's a new thing. No, it's fucking not.
It's kind of similar with Pledge, as Colin was saying, is it's your smaller bands have been doing it for
years, man,
and then all of a sudden it takes someone like Charlie Simpson for Busted who kind of went, oh wait a minute, this is working.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll do my solo.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it only.
It's all the awards and no risk for the artists.
I was going to say it's only when big bands are doing it. It's like REM coming out and saying now and going like, we're back together, we're going to release an album, but we're going to give it away for free, but you can give a wee bit of money to us if you want on this. It's going to be revolutionary. all these people that don't bother their asses with things like that, I've never even heard it before, don't listen to like new music, and go, like your sort of middle-aged type people going to go, oh fucking hell, that's a genius idea, can't believe you're doing that. Aye, well there's fucking bands at 17 and 18 doing it for years, busting their asses, getting nowhere. Unless it was getting nowhere.
When you look at the numbers of it, say Thom Yorke spent...
Fuck, I was a bit angry then when I saw it.
Because it makes headlines when it's already made headlines of the average person years ago. But the thing is, Thom Yorke saying, right, okay, here you are, £3.50. Oh, that is cheap for an album. Obviously it is, even though it's about 8 songs or something for the album, so it is a smaller album. But
I know, the point is the same.
But the point is, he's saying, right, okay, here we go, this is it. But he can afford to do it because, let's say, argument aside, he's probably just went and done it himself. It's probably cost him, ballpark figure, say $5,000 to record this album, right? He's probably done it mostly at home nowadays. He's probably fucking done it for years, but that's going to be what, $5,000 at $3.50 a pop to cover his cost. He's going to get what, a couple of hundred sales, is that maybe? I don't know. He knows that it's like, well, fuck it, saying if I do that, I've already won. And the same with the In Rainbows thing. Say they spent, say, $50,000 recording that because the label put them through. I don't know whether it was their own label or what at that point.
I can't remember.
They only need to sell. They know they'll sell like 150,000, but they know they only need to sell 10,000 to break even. So of course it's a gamble. They know that more than 10,000 folk will be like, "Oh, this is great. Oh, I'll give them a tenner. I'll give them a tenner for the album."
It's genius. I mean,
it's no loss for the band.
I'm using Tempercam as an example because this is the most relevant thing in this room at the moment. You know what I mean? But
damn right it is.
No, you know what I mean. No, like if you
really for roasters,
pray for roasters was happening.
It's not even happening. Exactly.
Maybe there may actually be a Christmas single. We'll see what happens for a laugh. Not just doing a fucking Jingle Bells cover or something.
Playing the tambourine really.
You will be that Spaz. Oh well, you know.
Spazmarine.
You can be our Meg.
Shut up, Meg.
Shut up, Meg.
What were you going to say there?
I was saying, I don't even know what I was saying. Fuck it.
Using Tempercam as an example.
No, I was using Tempercam as an example, like how bands are trying their best to figure out a way to get music out without a record deal happening because nobody's getting signed just now. Or people are getting signed. They're only getting signed because it's a dead set. Do you know what I mean?
You mean
there's no chance being taken at all.
A conventional sense,
it's like, well, you get a publishing deal, right? Great. So that means that my songs are now owned by someone else. I'm putting my stuff out anyway. I'm still pretty much out of pocket because I've recorded them already, and it's a publishing company pretty much come in now, put them out for you, sort of thing. But they'll contact a record company through them.
Ironically enough,
that's probably a better deal. That's a worrying part about it.
We talk about these conventional ways of like, oh yeah, you're getting £1 million deal. The only way to get a conventional album deal these days is to go on X Factor. Oh, wait a minute.
But then it's a Baby Metal and those 12-year-olds you were talking about for Times Square, and that's about it. I mean, is that
and again,
gimmick?
That was about the gimmick because there is no way they were signed purely on YouTube videos and that alone. Sony were up their arse before, well, probably literally up their arse. You know, that would be the next
Dr. Fuck. I was going to say, you fucker.
Now, this is interesting because this is another news topic I've got here. Maybe it's something that's kind of been known for a while. We just haven't really talked about it. BLOC is technically now a label. They've
seen that. They were going to do a compilation.
Do you know what? BLOC have been trying to do this for a wee while, right? Because I remember a few years back, they contacted us to do like an album thing, and it was like a kind of best of the people that had played that year. I was like, that's really cool.
Well, they still do that.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. And I thought to myself, there must be, and they've got their own YouTube channels. And check out their YouTube channels, great.
This is what I've got here. Basically, I was reading about this today in detail, ready to kind of talk about it. Basically, it seems like
this is Bar BLOC in Glasgow, folks.
Bar BLOC in Glasgow. BLOC Plus.
BLOC Plus. Yeah, it's like in a Russian
Soviet pub. No, it's not. It's funny.
It's really cool.
It's www.block.ru.
That's brilliant.
They got that years ago. Yeah, their website is actually a Russian domain name.
That's great. But
the thing is, it's funny because now they're actually the way that it's Chris Cusack. I didn't even know the guy's name, the manager of it. He's basically saying.
Was John's wee brother on it?
It's
gone all high
I knew he was going to break you with that one.
Because there's somewhere in the back of my mind I knew there was a joke there and I never even thought this guy he's basically saying
John's wee bro,
fuck him, John's wee bro, and the sister that looks exactly like John Joan, which is Joan, exactly. Joan. Have you ever seen them in the same room? Oh, actually we have, yeah. But
I've been on the same fucking screenshot.
I know. Oh, it's all Hollywood, smoke and mirrors.
What? Actually, there's a story behind it.
What you exactly just said about bands are always looking for new ways to.
Yeah, totally.
Well, his reckoning is what they're doing is neither revolutionary nor sort of old, but it's kind of like it's
just
sort of
lukewarm. It's in the middle. It's as what it is.
Oh no, don't put words in his mouth. Wait till I tell you what he said. Fuck's sake. I'm trying to actually give you word for word what he said. He's trying to say that the bands that come through their doors, the reason BLOC is a loved venue, not at a sort of touch level, and this is more or less what he's saying, not at a big level, not at a tiny level, is the fact that
Plasticine walls.
But the fact that they've got a wide range of like people, it is a mixed mob in there.
No,
so you don't just get one, and that's what's weird. You get metalheads, you get indie kids.
Like they had one night they had Terrible West. I can't even think what they sound like. And then the next night they had Mere Scientists.
Aye. Oh yeah, so they did. Clutch played there as well.
Yeah, Clutch. That was good.
In fact, fun of Clutch was the photograph in the article I read. But what it was is, like he said, because of that, you've got people that are kind of more open to sort of, I don't know, accept the other
different kinds of music. So people that love music go there.
This compilation you were talking about, their new compilations get bands like Theo Labora. That's what Brian Ego used to be.
They're check them out, guys.
So they're on this latest compilation, as well as I think it's Vasa is one of the bands. There's a few good names from Glasgow stuff. Now basically I think the next album, their first, or not the first official album they're bringing out, it's Felix Champion. That's their new album. But the point he was trying to make is they're not looking for profit.
No, definitely not.
What they're doing is they're giving bands that they like enough money to release their album. They then take their small fee back. Then the band keeps all profit, and it's sort of like there you go. It's a wee shoe up the door, like hey, I kick them out the door, the wider world, and it's great. And then they use the same basically pot of money they started with to do the next one. So I'm thinking that's a fantastic.
That's kind of exactly the way he described it. They described it as they were kind of like, look, guys, we want you on the next one. Here's the album. Check it out. It's really some good bands. We really like you play on it. I was like, that's really, for people just to contact you out of blue like that, it's not you get on a Monday morning and see an email like, fucking hell, that's amazing.
But not to put that side of it down. The compilation's one thing because it's just a SoundCloud thing.
The reggae thing's great.
What's quite amazing about the label thing is they are actually willing to front money that they don't really know they'll get back, which is quite a nice thing, because remember, BLOC is one of the few venues that actually gives bands give
you money. I've said this before.
Pizza, beer, they give you everything. They're a free venue.
In fact, we actually got asked by the NHC a few years ago actually to name our favourite venue and stuff and do a wee thing about it. It was a long time ago, and before we were even doing I was actually on a podcast, and we actually said BLOC. That was our favourite venue, basically because they're the only venue in Glasgow, in fact they're the only venue in Scotland that I know, right, genuinely, that I've played, that you actually feel like you're playing a proper gig, getting treated well and getting paid.
It's not a conveyor belt. It's not like you're just
really doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like that. You show up, you play, you're fucking.
It's always good fun.
And all the bar staff are always dead sort of friendly and into it, and like, it's cool. I like you done that, and they're kind of naming bands that they like they kind of like that, and
they sell Balkan.
They do. They fucking do, man.
Have you had Balkan?
Sadly, yes.
Oh, sadly, no. I'm glad I have.
Yeah.
Because if you have one, that's you set.
Oh, fucking hell, man.
Maybe have a pint or two more, and that's your whole night done. Yay!
Fucked.
Fair enough. It costs it's like £4.50, £5, but it's worth it.
It's worth it.
I mean, it's like drinking half a bottle of vodka in one.
It's just. Do you know what I had one before I went on stage, and I'm not joking. It kind of kicked in about 3 songs in, and it was like, you get a kind of warm feeling.
It's hot, and it's not just warm, it's hot.
Fucking hell, man. See, about the last song, I was like, let's fucking do this. I wanted to kick things over, and I was like, wanted to get back on and play another set. See, about 10 minutes after the set, I wanted to fucking die. I was just like, well, that's done. It's like, you get through all the stage. You were there.
It was before the album recording.
That's right.
I was there.
We were all fucking man go down, mate.
I went off that night to Flat 01 across the road.
So you did.
On my own, already fucked, and I swear I drank about another 3 pints of Frosty Jack.
I was listening to something.
I was so drunk.
I don't even remember going home. I get pulled into the back of the car. It was a good night, but I was a night my boss Finlay. He was a really good guy. He came up for the gig, and he ended up, me and him took it at a bar, and he was fucking wrecking his
Was that
mate.
the guy who went off?
Aye, because his mate tried to fight with him. It was a pal Jennifer. Jennifer Lynch, man. She's like my.
She was like,
she's amazing.
all back to mine for a party. No, not a party, but she's like, everyone back to mine. And I was
crazy.
like, do you know what? My
that's another girl. That's another girl. It was there.
It was good fun that night, though. It was really good fun.
The girl
Just
that showed up with Finland, my Jennifer, she's actually in Holland, but she'll be listening. So hi, everybody say hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
It's Dr. Fox.
Dr. Fox.
Do you like salt?
She loves salt.
Ass
and vinegar.
salt.
Do you know what? That's a horrible
Ass
grindy,
vinegar.
nasty sensation. Ass vinegar.
In a world of ass vinegar and salt.
That's uncannily.
Turn the bass up on your speakers, people. Ass vinegar.
Talking about BLOC and actually looking after bands, it's probably a good segue into something we were going to talk about in terms
Segue
of
that if you can.
pay to play and that bullshit.
Well, get fucked the ass.
Do you know what's kind of funny? Yep, exactly. These segues are actually we're landing on the end
It's
of a
like
point
we
that
planned this
starts.
shit.
Look at this. Look at this. You write things on a tablet. It's almost like it's professional. Pay to play.
The Ten Commandments were on tablets.
Think of oh dear.
For those who don't know the context, this is prompted for a gig at Flat 01. There's some lovely accusations have came out about it, about how bands were mistreated, how punters were mistreated. I don't know if we can talk about the company or name the company, and
let's just say it was we'll talk
really well-known company.
We'll talk about exactly what happened, but we won't name who they are, and then obviously you lovely listeners will go off and do your research. And
equally,
to be fair, Colin's with a few beers, and chances are the company are going to be mentioned.
Equally, if the company involved are listening, get on here, reply.
Come on and reply it, man. Like, we're not slugging into off. We really are.
We don't know everything. We just know what we've seen online. To be fair.
Yeah, well, of course, this is the problem. You're reading things, it's second-hand information.
Although I have
trust the sources. Well, of course, and that's what I'll say as well.
You can back this up as well. The story I've got is ridiculous, but and you tell the story first, and then I'm sure me and James can chime in with a few.
I will work backwards from
definitely.
Context is there was a 4 or 5 band bill on at Flat 01,
which is already ridiculous.
Yeah, and it was
fucking stop that shit.
I don't know how much for entry, but one of the guys paid to get in and kind of made it clear, oh look, my mate doesn't have ID, not a problem, we'll take your money, thanks boys, and you go. And when I went out for a fag, couldn't get back in because he didn't have ID. And I kind of...
That's a bit...
To be fair, the guy was maybe a bit foolish because he said, well, I want some of my money back because I've only seen one band. That's not going to fly at a gig, sadly, regardless of who the promoter is.
I'll be fair, if I was told by someone that...
Right, well, yeah.
You're told,
I'd argue.
If you're told that, if
you don't ask, you don't get. And I think it was a fairly okay question. I think
it's an acceptable thing. You've told me one thing, but do you know what? I get that the club or the bar, the people that are promoting the gig, right, in their defence, they can tell you what they like. At the end of the day, it's up to them, the license holder. That's exactly what it's the license holder. At the end of the day, they're the fucking boss, and they can go, do you know what? Don't give a fuck whose night it is. It's my bar, and you're not getting in. Fuck off.
Strangely enough, the manager.
Which is a shame.
I'm not good friends with the manager of the place, but I've known him for years. I've got him on Facebook, and we chat sometimes. So it's kind of like I do feel like he probably would have been completely unaware of what happened.
What's going on? So but then it's up to your door staff as well.
That happened. True. And then. Probably the next day, it started to emerge. A couple of bands were complaining that they'd made an agreement that they were supposed to sell, for talking sake, I don't know exactly how many it was, but for talking sake, 20 tickets. And they made it clear they weren't going to sell 20 tickets. They said that's not a problem, you won't lose any money. And then on the night, they get demands for money. So the band are saying,
this is unfair,
This one night went well.
Sake. Well, apparently did.
Well, I mean,
really, was there quite a lot of people there?
I'll talk about it off air.
Interesting.
Right, okay.
Yeah, you know what it's about as well. Team Europe. Is all I will say.
Yeah, okay, I see.
So there's been complaints. There's a bit of back and forward on a couple of Scottish music pages on this company getting slated, because there's a few bands have now come out the woodwork and said we've been
surprised there's only a few bands
we've
to
been
be honest
shoddily treated, and then there's equally the amount of people who clearly haven't been shoddily treated have kind of said, well no, they've always been good to us, and then folk, I've worked with them for years and we're so professional, and
Do you know what? That's fair enough, man. I think
that's bound to happen when you don't we don't know the facts in this instance. Obviously, you guys have been a band, you've had experience of stuff like this.
Well, the thing is, let's just take it into a wider political sense.
Yes.
That's a democracy.
Yeah.
Obviously, not everybody's going to have a bad opinion.
No.
But it doesn't mean that their good opinion is right.
No, exactly.
It just means it's
the wrong opinion's wrong.
Oh well, exactly. That's what I mean.
To be fair,
but then when you
but that is wrong, and this is.
That's the whole point.
And the circumstances
doesn't work.
Yeah. In the circumstances, it sounds totally wrong that a band
China have it right, man.
That a band was told you wouldn't need to pay anything, and then all of a sudden,
well, this is
give us your money.
There isn't. That's a black and white line. There is no. That's right and wrong. You cannot then say, well, they're in their right to change their mind. No, if you say something and do another, don't
get me wrong, the allegation is that one of the bands brought 7 people to a Saturday night gig, but then that's equally that's both the band and the promoter.
I've got something. I need
because both sides need to do your fucking research.
Of course you do.
Here's what I need to say. Right, if you're a promoter in any way, whether you're in Glasgow, fucking Beijing, I don't give a fuck where you are, right? If you're a promoter and you're listening to this, right, your job is to promote a gig. It's the band, whether they choose to bring 1 million people or 3 people, it's not really up to a band. They're there to provide entertainment. That's what they're there for. To a point, right, I get what it's common sense for a band to tell you you're playing, right? That's normal. That's social networking. That's fine. I get it, right? But it's not the band's fucking job to promote a gig. It's not.
I think it's 50-50.
They can't be the fall guys.
That's what I mean. It's not up to the band. It's not up to the band. They're there to play music. That's what you've hired them from.
They never booked themselves on.
Exactly right.
You booked them.
You're a booker. That's different. If you say you're a promoter or a promotions company, you promote the gig and common sense dictates.
And the company we're talking about in particular doesn't just say that they
say that everything.
They are a promotions company.
Yeah,
so
that's my point.
That's kind of what is there.
I'm making, right. What pisses me off is when you get asked to say play a gig 3 nights before. These sort of companies saying,
that's my point. That's my next point of this company as well.
You've got 3 nights notice. You have to pull a crowd of 25, 30 people to Glasgow when you're fucking, say, Greenock or wherever, right? You've got a good 20 miles, 25 miles at a difference, right? People are going to come to that gig on a Wednesday night or a fucking Tuesday night. Do you know what I mean? They can't. It's not going to happen. What do they expect you to fucking pull out your arse? Do you know what I mean? For that, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's not right, and it's not fair that the bands are pressured to do that. Because then what happens is bands are under pressure, worried about money and different things, and they play a fucking shit show. It's as simple as that, and it's not right. And then after it, you're getting hassled to basically pay. You've already paid to get to the fucking gig. You should be getting a couple of pound petrol money at least something. You shouldn't be playing for free. It's wrong.
Again,
it's borderline illegal.
BLOC manage this fine.
That's what I was going to say. Exactly my point.
Now, they have the backbone of a venue that sells. They're a self-contained pub that sells other things to basically fund
food and things like that.
The thing is, don't then put on a gig as a promoter if you don't yourself have the backup.
Yeah.
Don't put your money where your mouth is unless you don't have the money.
Bands playing, any band that's been going for any more than a year, I reckon, your friends get fed up coming to see you playing, and it's not a dicky move or anything like that. They don't mean it. It's just they don't have the money and they're seeing the same set over and over and over again. People start falling by the wayside. That's how like new bands have always got like fucking 30 and 40 ticket sales for tucks and things like that. I get that.
My point you made a second ago.
It slides away.
Before I forget the point you made about the 3 days notice, right? That thing annoys me because the company in question.
I knew I was going to lead you.
I know fine well that this happens nearly every second gig they put on. There's a band pulled out today.
I've seen the emails because I still get them.
And of course, I still get like newsletter emails for it. And I'm kind of like, yes, we need a band for this venue for pop rock / indie night. Next night is a metal / for fuck's sake, with 2 days notice, and then
I had a rap metal night one time. But then asked to play. No, I think that's brilliant.
Exactly.
I mean, fuck that. What?
We're not the right style. It doesn't matter.
We'll put you on.
Then they'll complain and go, why are you not the right? Why didn't you change your style for tonight? That's almost the kind of shit. Now, what's interesting here is
that never happened. I'm joking.
I know it didn't, but
the metal thing did happen.
That's the kind of ideology that happens. They'll always find a way to make it a band's fault if they're at fault.
Oh, absolutely.
The point here's a fantastic.
Someone said the very line, gig goes well, promoters are genius. gig goes wrong, it's a band's fault.
That's true.
Was that you or was that someone else?
No, it was somebody else.
We can't take credit for that, but
no, we can't. But it's fantastic. It was an NHC related comment.
Yeah.
Before I forget this great point, there is a company I can mention because they're no longer together. Podboy in Glasgow.
Fucking Podboy, yeah.
Now, I think I've mentioned them before in the show, but I've got a very specific and fantastic, ridiculous story about this.
He tried to manage us when I was in Pettibone.
Of course.
And is it that the guy with the kind of glasses and the older guy?
Ian Wallace is his name.
He's a fucking
we can talk about him because he's been run out of the town, run out of the business.
Shady man, don't ever do business with this guy.
Long story short, to get to the point of where I was, this is just over 10 years ago when Tempercam began. 10 years ago, he was at the point where Podboy was his crowning glory, and he had somehow sold off part of a company that he was a partnership. I think it was a mobile phone company. Now, again, this is all just, I can't remember the details. It was a big company. I know this part's true. I just don't know what. I don't know what company it was definitely a phone thing. And basically, this company got sold off. Probably in the whole mobile phone boom and all that. Yeah. He ended up with many monies, lots of cash. Now enough basically to live off without having to do anything, I think.
Yeah,
so he decided, well, what'll I do? Oh, I'll start a record label. Great, okay, bad start because he had no fucking experience.
No,
he just played music. He maybe played guitar in the olden days. And the guy is, at this point, he was in his 60s. He was an old guy.
No, I didn't think he was old.
Oh no, he was old. The reason I know this guy, I don't want to name names, but there's a venue that I now work with closely that the guy knew him very well.
Right,
and I've heard this story very recently.
I didn't realise he was as old as that. Wow,
no, he's an old guy. So basically he thought, as you say, back in the day he'd get guys and go, yeah, I'll manage your band, I'll massage you into a record label, like what do you call it, a major label's dream. Basically he thought, we will get you to a point where a major label will sign you. So you and amongst others were told these things, and there were bands that actually signed up to these ridiculous terms where they were getting hundreds of pounds worth of equipment given to them on the basis that they could only play.
To us and we walked because we didn't believe
they could only play their venues at their nights. They couldn't play any other gigs. Now this seems unthinkable now. This actually only happened in sort of the mid 2000s. So basically
music terms.
My specific story, and again I've got loads of stories of people that I don't want to relay stories from years ago that I remember people tell me. I'll just tell you the one I remember that happened to us. We got asked to play when it was then called Strawberry Fields.
Strawberry Fields.
We had only just started as a band, and we had maybe the potential with the two guys that were in the band at the time, being in school at the time, they could bring potentially maybe about 50, 60 folk along to gigs. It was at that kind of big time. Now we got asked to play, this is our third or fourth gig, we got asked to play Strawberry Fields. It's a Saturday night, lovely stuff. Yeah, here's 100 tickets.
Yeah.
It's Ivory Blacks.
Ivory Blacks.
Audio used to be Rockers.
Right.
So basically,
Rockers like a
there's we could talk about that venue as well. Now basically, we got asked to play this gig on a Saturday night. With a couple of weeks' notice, we got 100 tickets. Brilliant. Now the thing is, for 2 weeks after this gig, which at the time was more than enough time, we get asked to play Tuts. So say for argument's sake this is the 1st of October, which it nearly is now. So say it's 1st of October was the gig at Ivory Blacks, Strawberry Fields, whatever, and the 14th or 15th was Tuts. So obviously we're at this gig, we turn up and say, right, here we are, we're here, and he's wandering about. Ian Wallace, the fucking idiot that he is, he's wandering around going like this, right, so guys, to every band on the bill he's like, so how many folk you got coming? Looking kind of like nervous and shifty. So how many folks coming? And we're like, oh, well, I mean, maybe about, we'll say, between a dozen and say 30, maybe if we're lucky. And he's like, what do you mean? Instantly got angry with us before the sound check, like, you should turn your mobile phones to begging mode. Why are you not begging your friends to come? We're like, we kind of sniggered at what? But he was serious. He was looking at us, and remember, the two guys in the band at the time were 15 and 16. It was over 14's gig, so we were expecting a lot of their pals to come. I had a few friends coming. We knew there was
really brilliant story. I think we might have played with you guys in Strawberry Fields.
Oh, I don't know.
Which is bizarre.
Maybe it wasn't this night though.
No, I know. I'm just saying. It just popped in my head.
This fated night actually had a Greenock band who have now separated into other bands. I won't dwell on that. They were called the Ocean Fracture.
Yeah,
Back then they were called Emberfall. Funnily enough, Emberfall played this same night I'm talking about. So we went on. Are we
sniffing around them as well?
They're one of the fated bands that signed the deal. I don't want to. Again, it's third-hand information. They told me the story. They lost money and.
Well, they actually asked us why we knocked it back, and that's kind of how. This is kind of that's fucking bizarre.
The first hand story here being it's nothing. We never signed this deal. He was interested in signing. Obviously, he was interested in signing everyone. He wanted as much fucking bands under his wing as possible.
Totally.
But we just thought, well, this guy's putting a good Saturday night gig on. It's over 14s, which was and still kind of is a rare thing.
It was a rare thing then.
So we were like, cool, this is fine. So we got to our slot time and we thought, fair enough. We're obviously going to plug this Tuts gig. So he's watching us like a hawk, and we did bring about 20 odd folk, if not more. So I mentioned at the end of the gig, if you want a King Tut's ticket, we're playing in a couple of weeks' time, come and get them off us, they're a $5.
Chaos.
So we're coming off stage, we're on a high, it's only our third or fourth gig, you know, it wasn't brilliant, it wasn't terrible, we had a good time, it was just fun. We came off stage and everyone's like, yeah, you know, the guys' parents are there, there's still a lot of young folk, they were all giving us like, yeah, good gig and all that. Ian Wallace looks at me straight away, points his finger out and gives me the sort of come here. Just come hither, I'm going to have a fucking word with you. And I just
and it's not a Withers original, Sonny Jim.
No. It was ridiculous. And he gave me what basically was like what you remember as being a huge tailing off from your head teacher,
a verbal kicking off your mum or dad kind of.
So I'm standing there and he's looking at me going, do you think I'm a mug? You should be giving me respect. I laughed because at this point I'd left school. I'd long been out of school, and I thought, what? I've not had this kind of chat for a year.
Somebody's about to get fucking knocked out, pal.
Exactly.
Usually you kind of deal with that kind of fuck off, pal. I'm going to knock you out.
I thought he was taking the piss a little bit, so I laughed, and then I was really like, this old bastard is serious. And he's like, you do not, I repeat, you do not go on stage at one of my shows and promote another venue show. I don't care where it is, if it's fucking King. He went off in this, he was turning fucking purple, and I just thought, hang on a minute, this is actually not happening. But then this happened to a lot of bands, and I just thought, no wonder fuck knows what I mean. The details.
He flipped to us because we wouldn't sign.
He
totally flipped.
He lost it. He's gone. He's completely run out. He was essentially run out of Glasgow.
The last time I seen him was
people were willing to have his head on a stick.
Well, the last time I seen that guy, it had something to do with the creation place over at Trungate. No, next to Guitar. Oh,
the place was like rehearsal and
and that
rehearsal
was a
studio and venue.
Fucking shambles.
Yeah, we played there once.
He was sniffing about in there, and I remember seeing him, and he didn't. He just fucked off. He seen my sound check and he stood and went, "Oh, he sounds great." Blah blah blah. Alright, cheers. But last time he spoke to me, he had a pure run in with me. And it's because he's like, how come you don't want to fucking sign me? Is that blah? What's your problem? That I've heard you've been bad mouthing us a lot. Like, we've not been bad mouthing you. We've just.
Everyone has.
No, we really hadn't. But the word wasn't really out then. I was like, look, I'll be honest with you, your deal's too good to be true.
It is.
And he's like, but I was like, I'm sorry, I'm too long in the tooth for that. I don't believe you. I was like, I've been signed, and that's not it.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing that annoys me about what he done then with the contracts. It's very easy to just go, he's an idiot, he shouldn't have done that. The bands should have read the contract as well, because in the contract it does state all these terms, but basically like
the common sense tells you to take it to a fucking lawyer and get it looked over if you say anything.
Of course, so you have to have the bands are accountable.
That's a wee tip for you guys. Always get a lawyer to look over anything you say.
It doesn't matter if it's a one page. His was basically a one page contract.
It doesn't matter if it's 1 page or fucking 40 pages.
The last few lines will have some confusing thing.
Yeah, some bullshit thing.
So essentially, to break down his story of what he done with the contracts was, without it being specific, what he done was he would basically say, you need cymbals, you need a guitar amp, you need a guitar, fine, I'll provide all of that in the deal. But then the bands didn't realise that at any point when they left, all of that either had to be paid or given back. So
that's what happened to
and if it goes back to him, it's probably that's damage to give me money.
Oh, exactly.
Oh no, there was a lot of stuff, some bad shit.
So basically,
so essentially, he was a car rental company.
Oh yes, oh yes.
I think
he was looking at it as a mobile phone company.
Aye,
that's what he was looking at. That's exactly what he was looking at. Like,
he just couldn't let go.
Yeah, I think like the kind of lesson with that, and obviously with the pay to play type thing, is do your fucking research. Both sides, of course.
Sides.
Yeah, totally.
Well, let's give you one. Sorry,
no, go for it.
For one point. One point that's really.
Somebody's ranting the night.
One point that's really important about that is they prey on the young bands.
Of course they do.
The bands that don't. Oh yeah, we'll just do the gig. Fuck yeah, because you can never just accept a contract over an email, more or less. Verbal contracts and all the rest of it.
Yeah. Yep.
So these young bands,
which guys, I mean, say is legally binding.
Oh, aye.
More or less.
Be careful what you're doing.
Speaking it on the phone, speaking it in person, it's illegal.
No, but see anything. See if you send an email saying yes to something,
aye,
you are responsible for that
because it's all traceable.
It's traceable. Yeah.
And then what I say is that reminds me of a very, again, they gave you the world. They said, this is the thing you'll get. There'll be people there like in Stepping Stone was a thing that the Cat House used to run.
I remember that.
King Sonic Promotions they were called. Again, this is around the same time, early 2000s. It seemed to fizzle out around.
Was kind of bald guy run that? Was it kind of like big tall guy? I can't remember his name.
No, he was a guy called. I don't. The thing is, they did actually treat the bands quite well.
Because it was a
Keith, his name was. He actually was a booker for CPL in general, and I think he's probably still doing it elsewhere.
Because the guy was really decent.
But King Sonic, what they done was with one of my first bands. Basically, we would play there as 15-year-olds and be like, "It's over 14's gig." They would essentially say, "We need to basically get 200 quid off you."
What?
And guys, that's only the first 20 tickets. So you go, so it is, yeah. So we played that time after every, say, 3 months. The cool down period, and it's like, well, your friends at school are like, when can we come and see you again? So you'd always be able to share 50 tickets between the 4 or 5 in the band. So we'd always play these gigs, and because there's 4 or 5 bands on, there's about 150 folk there.
So
you think, this is great, but no one gives a shit about the other bands. So you're essentially lining, and I worked it out once we got
lining people's pockets.
Once we got old enough to realise after a couple of years of doing this, we played loads of them. We eventually realised we're actually lining his pocket with about $1,000 a night, and he's doing it twice a fucking week. And there's only about 3 or 4 staff on, and it only cost at that time. I remember the Cat House, I think, to rent for the night was 400 quid. So he's walked away with 600 easy. It's mental.
And he was probably getting a deal. He
probably was, of course, because they were booking him 6 months in advance.
So something like, do your homework, think about it before you do something. If you're a promoter, don't put on like 8 bands of different genres and all that shit. Put on 3. One solid band who you think will pull. And if you want to put on 2 bands that you believe needs,
and do you know, if anything else, do you know the best thing about having a smaller band focused bill is the fact that less bands equal less problems equal less. Think about it.
Definitely.
There's actually
I was kind of said that to Jamie recently.
The opposite problem now. It used to be different. Bands used to hate bringing gear to gigs, not drugs. I mean equipment. Any gear, but nowadays everyone.
Well, you done an English accent like any gear.
It's all Scotch in it.
That's exactly it.
But basically, bands now seem to love. I've got this great guitar amp. I want to bring. I want to bring my bass amp. So you get 5 bands now, all bringing a guitar amp each. And it's just
some fucking mess in the corner
because they're all
like stuff gets wrecked and stolen.
And exactly, and that adds to that problem as well. So less bands, less problems. Make it more focused. It's why festivals don't run every weekend all year round.
Exactly, because it's a logistical fucking nightmare. It really is.
So
I need to tell you the story.
What story is this?
The story about what happened to us. This is phenomenal, right? So we were playing with what was the name? Really cool electronic band. We were playing in Capital. It was one of the last gigs in Capital. And,
I don't know, Capital had about 100 last gigs, to be fair.
No, but I mean, just in general, it was a kind of rundown to a period. It was like, here we go. So anyway, this gig, it was a really cool bill and stuff like that, and like we were on it as our band. I thought it's going to be just one of those big. It's one of these gigs you just think this is going to be an awesome night. And I think it was one of our first gigs as a 3-piece as well. Right. You were at this. I'm pretty sure you came down later on.
I got a funny feeling. I do remember this one.
And I basically, I kind of heard that
sorry, wait a minute. Is this an English band or something? I was there. Yeah,
Something City.
I was taking photos that night.
It was Something City. They were fucking brilliant. They were really good band, right?
Fucking hell, that's right.
They split up recently. Actually, I'm kind of ashamed.
Did you keep tabs on them?
Yeah, because
this gig is with 5 years
I've actually made friends with them purely because of what happened on the night, and they were like, "Fuck me, no way this happened." Like, they couldn't believe the madness, right?
I do remember something.
Basically, this is the same company we were talking about earlier on that Andy was talking about.
Unnamed company.
Of course it was. Of course it was.
You're named.
That's
there
right.
You go, right. So, anyways,
my friend Rod would have been doing the sound that night.
Yeah, it was I. So, anyways, I kind of
strange nonsense.
That's my brain trying to remember.
Can you guess what it is yet?
Dr. Fox. So anyways,
what does the fox say? Oh God, no. Right. So that night,
you're fucking nicked. That's what it says. Nothing anymore. Anyways, so I kind of got wind.
That's a shame.
That's
the last thing you go on.
I've taken an antacid and we'll be fine.
That sounds too fucking real. Stop it. I hate it. Right, on you go.
I know.
Sorry guys, just to recap, we're talking about a story about Capital. You've lost the plot of it.
Just carry on. But anyways, right.
Capital, right.
So anyway, we were in Capital.
Circa 2009.
Really, circa 2009. There was some really good bills, I think. And there was a fucking DJ set and everything like this. There was an electronic band, then it was kind of us, and it was really cool. There was this indie band that were on at first, and I don't even know who they are. Like, they were just rotten in every level. They were shit, right? But they were there to just kind of fill a hole, almost. That's what it kind of felt like.
That is what they are now called.
Yeah, but they were. But the thing is, what we were talking about earlier on, they didn't fit the bill. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
we kind of dancey vibe kind of feel as well as rock and different things, and it kind of worked well. It was like a good transition between us, then the kind of electronic sort of rock band, and then the DJ set. It worked.
That's right.
It did work. It was all kind of cool. But the first band were just a mess. They never. I think it was their first gig, maybe second gig ever, right? And
I'm starting to remember this.
Yeah, it was a fucking mess. So we were like, kind of like, oh, can we get a shot of your guitar, mate? No. Oh, mate, my drummer's not getting any cymbals or a snare or a brain. Can they borrow your brain? No. I'm using it. Fuck off, basically.
And the rest.
And the rest, pretty much. So they were in a huff with us anyway. Turns out they'd given all their tickets away, right? Like 120 tickets.
That's right.
They gave them all away.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, you remember this, right? So they gave them all away, right? So this company decides, fuck it, what we'll do is, to get our money back, we'll charge Sneaky Pete's crowd, like fans, which we took a bus up with us. We'll charge them $12.50 on the door rather than £5 on the door.
Fucking hell.
And I was like, what? And my missus was actually paying the money.
I remember that.
And I just had
that
to.
Was terrifying.
I kind of walked out in the middle of, like, my girlfriend's like, what do you mean? Like, she's like, it's pretty steep, innit? She's like, alright. And she was paying it. I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I thought she was paying, like, somebody else's ticket. I was like, what are you doing? I was like, you guys are on a guest list, it's fine. And she's like, oh no, there's no guest list. And I've to, because we were given 5 guest list, because we had a lot of people coming up. And she's like, we've been taken off the guest list and we've got to pay $12.50 in each. I was like, what the fuck do you mean? And this guy's like, look mate, I don't need any hassle. I don't need any hassle, right, or any shit for you, right? This is just the new rules and this is what's happening, because they fucking guys in have done this and we need to make money back. So me being me, dragged the fuck out outside and like it was me and Bolton got hold of him. And we're like, fucking this shit is like, we're not playing this gig, we're about to pull the plug. If this is where you're going to be, we'll just turn it around, because we knew you could have walked into a box and got a gig like that, you know what I mean? Because Stevie
probably could have actually.
We would have, like, Stevie would have been totally cool with it, it was fine. And he was like, no, this is how it is. I was like, tell you what, see since we know that they've given them away, you're not going to get a fucking penny off them. He's like, what? I was like, no, because we've just done the same, we've gave all our tickets away. But we know you've not. I was like, no, we have.
That's right.
We've not got any tickets. He's like, and every single person got in for free at night. And we took them, see, they'd like, I think about £50. And we took the money out of the fucking tin like that's ours. They split it between us and the headline band. Well, here you go. Oh, fuck yous. Fucking livid. We wrote an email and everything to the
serves them right that night for trying to do that.
Fucking
that was
raging.
almost like karma in reverse.
I've never seen anything so backhand. When we actually phoned the guy in person,
right,
who we were talking about earlier on, who was just a cheeky bastard, and he couldn't fucking figure out what had happened. We're like, wait a minute, the guy's he's like, but you got to understand, it's not to do. He's like, it's everything to do with you because you weren't even fucking there. You showed up at the beginning of the night, realised what's happened, you clocked it was a shitstorm and fucked off without even so much as saying to us, and then you tried to pull a swift one, and if you'd been stupid enough to let you fucking away with it, know what I mean? I was like, I've not seen him yet since, man. He's still a dick further than that. I can't believe that.
You're right.
It's just unbelievable. I'm just glad that you remember that night, because it was fucking unbelievable. You couldn't make that shit up. That is unreal.
I really can't believe that I forgot about that night.
It was just the most unbelievable thing. I've been doing this for fucking years and I can't believe that actually happened.
It's all come back to me now. I can't actually believe I forgot about that.
So it's just like unreal.
And it's amazing that it ties in with
Saturn was still going on. That's what, fucking 7 years, 6 years later, whatever.
Just different tricks.
In fact, it's not even as long as that.
It's been going on
so 5 years later.
Gigs
4 or 5 years later. It's still happening. But to that, no, it's the same company and they're getting away with it. And it's wrong. It's really wrong. They're fucking people. And I remember one time as well, there was like a blizzard and we were meant to play a show for them, and we were like, look, there's no way we're getting up there. Like, we're in the middle of nowhere. That's not good enough. You're going to need to come up. One is going to drop off the money is. I was like, man, here's a sketch. We're not playing a gig. You're getting no money. It's as simple as that. That's not happening. And we're giving you like a fucking...
where's that in your contract?
Exactly. Well, there's no contract at all.
Exactly.
You've given us fucking tickets, which I might add, he sent us the day before the gig.
And the gig
had been fucking booked for a month in advance, and he sent us a ticket, and we were constantly hounding him for tickets. He sent us, we got the tickets on the Friday, we're playing on the Saturday. How the fuck? What?
You're all desperate to know who this company are now, aren't you?
Oh, definitely, man.
I think it's do enough research, you'll find out.
Yeah, oh, definitely, man.
You'll find out soon.
We'll put some links up, mate.
I suppose
we'll put some anagrams of the company name.
There's anagrams of the company name. That's brilliant.
Hang on a second.
There might be a B. Yeah, we'll be playing Hangman on Friday night with these 4 letters. Oh, no. Is that too much?
Always a certain individual.
Yeah,
I'm playing Hangman with a fucking individual.
I think in summary, seeing as
that's incorrect.
So we're coming to the end of the show.
As it's the end of the show, like if you're in a band and a deal seems too good to be true, it probably fucking is.
Oh, by the way, because we have to put this in this show, because it'll be, sadly, as you're listening to this live on the Friday night, the gig will be happening right now, but it's the next NHC gig at the Vale. It's sold out apparently.
It's sold out, yeah.
And I'm doing the sound at it, so that's awesome. Tonight as you listen to this live, or in the past.
Joe Bone and the Dark Vibes.
Joe Bone and the Dark Vibes and the Trongate Run Riot supporting. It's going to be fucking brilliant, actually.
Yeah,
the Vale even half sold out.
Have you seen Run Riot shit?
No, I've not seen it.
Fuck me, you're in for a total treat.
I just love the fact that it's kind of like a whole NHC.
Chaos.
It's an NHC party night. I mean, I'm there.
It's going to be brilliant.
Hosted by NHC. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
So, yeah.
So if you're not in a gig,
I know, you think it's
you're listening to this.
You're listening to this.
Yeah, man. Right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Sorry, I just burped. Sorry.
You
Cheers.
are a filth magnet.
A filth magnet.
Yeah, a magnet of filth.
Dear. Right, so that's the end of this show. I've been James.
Anthony.
As always, Colin.
Thank you for listening.
Cheerio.
Night.